right, so what we're going to do, we're going to get started here. So first of all, we've got some questions that many of you need to be asking yourselves. First of all, as you're getting started in any research of any entrepreneurial type of business, you got to figure out, do I want to do a home-based business? Do I want to do a brick and mortar? Other questions you need to be asking, what's the stability of the company that you're trying to partner with? And Patrick, I think it's one of the best parts about us here at ABS is that our licensees are not just, what's the best word to put it, they're just not clients of ours, they're partners here with us here, and our licensees actually help stabilize our company here at ABS.
Yeah, we really talk about them as a part of our family of licensees because we are a family-owned business. My wife started doing medical billing back in the late 80s, and it's just kind of grown into this company now that is training and supporting other people in the business, and it's just it's a growing family.
Yeah. You need to learn about support. You need to be asking about support. So remember, we're asking the entire question is this the right business move for you in whatever business you're looking at? What about references that you can speak to? What about testimonials that company might have? What about the business tools? Remember, we talked about the business tools right up at the beginning of the webinar here. Do they have the right type of business tools? What about stability of the industry? Folks, this is one of the first things that Patrick and I are going to talk about today is the stability of the industry of what you're looking into. Patrick, you have researched many different types of franchises and business opportunities. Some of them are a lot of fads. They come and go.
They do. I've seen some. There was a great one I saw just a year or so ago, Gum Busters.
Yeah.
And what they did was they taught you how to go into hotels and restaurants and theaters and scrape the gum off the bottom of the tables and chairs.
That sounds like a nasty business. I have this.
Well, hey, it had some residual income. Residual, get it? Okay.
Yeah.
Forget that.
How funny. And then lastly, you need to be thinking about your funding, how they may help support you in your funding, what you need to be thinking about your funding. We're going to be upfront with all of this today. So we're going to first of all talk about one of the biggest questions you need to answer for yourself is to formulate your business is where you want to locate that. Is it going to be a home-based business or a brick and mortar? Patrick, a lot of people simply still ask us here, once they get started their due diligence, they actually ask, do I need to go set up an office? This is why we're asking this question right off the bat.
You know, if you asked our entire, or just a selection of our licensees, I think you'd find it's only about 10% that actually get an office. Those are the people who want to build this big. They want to hire employees. They want to really build it big. But even those tell me, well, Patrick, I love having an office here that I can go to, but the doctors don't ever ask to come to my office. I go to them, you know. So even the most successful people just don't ever invest in that office. But, of course, it's possible to do that.
Yeah, I mean, this literally, the business that we're in obviously can be run from home. But, again, as you're thinking about, you know, going through the whole process of what type of business do I find myself in? Do I find myself in the healthcare business or another one? And a lot of people think about brick and mortar business. That folks, obviously, they've been around for a long time. They've got a lot of advantages. They've got some drawbacks. Obviously, the biggest one is your biggest advantage is the location. And the reason I'm talking about this is that, you know, it seems like if I've got an office, and this is what a lot of people think about, Patrick, especially trying to get in our business. They think if I get an office, that will give me a sense of that I'm real out there in the marketplace. But that's not always the truth, but that's really what people are thinking.
Yeah, and it can be a huge drain on your resources, at least at first. That's what's great about this business is you never have to get an office unless you get to the point where you want to have a bunch of people working for you and you want them all in one place. Now, I do have licensees, Eric, as you know, that they work out of their home, and all of the people that work for them, usually independent contractors, are working out of their home too because it's a cloud-based system and they can access and see and talk to them just like we're doing today with this technology. You can have meetings all day long with your people.
You know, Patrick, as I was putting this together, I was thinking about the friend of yours that started up a brick and mortar business, which we know as a Subway. He thought that, wow, I can get this going. I may not have to work as many hours, but you told me that he worked more hours trying to work on that business.
I used to ask him, I said, Charles, why would you buy something that you have to hire teenagers who can't even clean their rooms and work with them 80 hours a week, But he wanted to make $100,000 a year, and then he found out that he only made about $42,000 from his first Subway. So guess what he did? He opened up 2 more. So
yeah,
I just can't even imagine that.
Yeah. So here's some advantages and some drawbacks about brick and mortar. Let's talk about home-based business. More Americans, Patrick, are starting home-based businesses than ever before. We know that. I mean, obviously, this was happening even while the other president was in office. So, but we're starting to see it is still another increase of this. It does provide freedom to be more in control, using your efforts in building your business and not the business of somebody else. I think that's what a lot of people, at least the people I talk to, this is what's driving them to maybe work for themselves and at least have some type of home-based business.
Well, they're tired of making all the money for someone else. They'd like to keep, the profits for themselves out of that business. And I don't know if you list this, but one of the advantages is just not having to commute. If at one time we had a dog, and the only commute that I had was going upstairs to my office. If the dog was on the stairs, I had to kick him out of the way.
I do. And again, the advantages are obviously low startup costs. You can work out of your home with basically everything that you already have. Your own computer. Just use your cell phone. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to buy expensive office equipment or commercial phone systems. You don't have to do any of that. You get your control of your own schedule. And like I said, the commute is non-existent.
Yeah, you don't even need a fax machine nowadays. That can all be done electronically through fax services that send it to you by email and so forth. And the great thing, Eric, is that your business is portable. You could start it in the city you're in now and move to another city, and the doctors wouldn't care and wouldn't know it as long as you're doing a good job for them. We've had people go on vacation for a couple of weeks to Hawaii and run the whole thing off their laptop because Wi-Fi is everywhere nowadays.
It is. I mean, and you can get it right off your phone, so absolutely you can do all of that. All right. So, and then the last thing is you don't have to pay rent. Matter of fact, not only do they not have to pay rent, there's tax advantages for working out of your home as well.
I started to say that's a huge reason to have your own business. If you folks don't know about it, the tax write-offs for a business are tremendous. The government came up with that because they want to encourage people to start a business.
Right.
And so, instead of paying 30% on your income off of your taxes, you might be able to pay as little as 4 or 5% because you've deducted a lot of the expenses that normally would be for a business. For example, a portion of your house can be deducted, any improvements, any new equipment that you buy, like computers and phones and so forth. So there's lots of write-offs.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, folks, the pros and cons. There's pros and cons on both sides, but I think you'll find bigger pros on home-based businesses, and we can offer that. Patrick, you and Linda, God bless both of you for what you've done. Is that you had a vision to do this, and many people have benefited from it. So this is a wonderful business opportunity.
Well, it was great for us as a family. My son, of course, is now the president of the company. My daughter's still involved in the business, although she's getting her master's degree in psychology. She wants to be a counselor. But the point is that it can be a great family business if you have children that can get involved in it. That's why God gave you children, is to put them to work.
Right.
And get a tax write-off.
You got that. All right, so folks, get your pens and paper out, or if you printed out that handout already, you can see this. We're going to go through 6 what Patrick and I are going to call business decision making, and this will help you, whether it's this business in healthcare or whether it's any other type of business. These are the 6 things you need to be looking at. Number 1, you got to check out the industry. We're going to dive into that today. Secondly, check out the company. You've got to do your due diligence on the company. Number 3, funding. 4, build a plan. 5, we call it take a test drive, and we'll talk to you about that. And then lastly, do they have legitimate references and legitimate testimonials? These things will help people, Patrick, help them not make the wrong decision in any type of business.
Right.
All right, so let's first of all kick off with checking out the industry. So let's dive into that. Patrick, I'm going to kind of let you just take this because these are some articles that you and I both have found from a very reputable company, Forbes magazine.
Yeah, this one was, I think, from back in 2015 at the end of the year, so it's just about a year old. But look at what it says. The United States has the biggest healthcare industry in the world, spending approximately $3 trillion a year. And look at this. By 2018, Eric, can you circle that? Can you kind of point to some of this? Oh,
yep.
Okay. By 2018, healthcare will comprise close to 18% of the U.S. growth domestic product, a sizable market opportunity for a new generation of entrepreneurs selling innovations to the industry, the government, and increasingly direct to the consumers. People don't realize this, but even though right now most of the medicine and the billing and all the paperwork is all between the government, it could move eventually so that people are in charge of their own paperwork with the doctor. You can stay involved in this business, and there's ways to help those people as well, because most people can't read codes and they don't know what a super bill is, and there's a huge opportunity no matter where this business goes.
Then follow up with this one, because folks, if you'll take a look at the very bottom, we already have the URL or the website where you can go look at that. You can see it was back in December of 2015, projecting this increased growth in 2018. A lot of people are going to say, well, that was a little over a year ago. Well, this one, as you can see it here, I'm going to pull out my pen here and again circle this right there. This was just 2 days ago.
Yeah,
Still
this is
from Forbes. Patrick, take it away.
And look at the headline, folks. This might be the best time to break into the healthcare business. Now, folks, that's not me and Eric telling you this. This is the Forbes magazine. It says the medical economy is a $3 trillion industry, so the potential for innovation is almost unlimited. Team up with a group of scientists, nutritionists, or practicing physicians and start brainstorming. In this case, start learning how we teach you how to market to those doctors. The time for launching a startup in healthcare has never been better. Let me read that again. The time for launching a startup in the healthcare has never been better. So if you're thinking about undertaking a new business endeavor, think medical. It doesn't get any better than this, Eric. We could use this quote for the next 2 years. You might be surprised at how rewarding it could be, and who knows, the life you end up saving, as they say, could be your own.
Yeah.
I love that, Eric, because people have told me that getting into business for themselves has basically changed their lives.
So, folks, what we're trying to give you is information that Patrick and I are always looking into. We're constantly, every Wednesday, we're coming up with new information that we find on the internet. So what we want to give you right now, this is a little thing called reciprocity. We're going to give you something right now that you're going to get before you become an ABS licensee.
But before we do that, Eric, I did put that link to next week's webinar in the chat. It's in the chat. Look for the chat section of that control panel for GoToWebinar. And you can click on that link right now and go and register, even if you don't know if you can attend it. We record all these, and you'll get the links to the recording.
All right, so the first thing we want you to do is take down this. This is a website that you can go sign up right now. No, it's not going to cost you anything to get involved in this. It's called Medical Economics. Patrick uses it, I use it, Adam uses it, everybody at our staff here uses this to find out information of what's going on in the medical field, more specifically in medical economics. So you've got the URL down below. There's a place where you can sign up. You can get on there. You can see right here, e-news signups. I mean, just click right there. Boom, you're in it. You're going to start getting emails about this. You can learn about what's going on, what's trending. Anything you see right down here, I'll point this out. There's a whole section right here. It says revenue cycle management right there. This is what you're going to be involved in. Yes.
Now, Eric, if people would just get on these email lists, they would these articles would sell you on the fact that this is a great industry to get involved in, folks. And they're not selling a business opportunity package. These are primarily for doctors. But you'll learn from what they're saying to doctors about the fact that they should be, in many cases, they'll write articles that say you should be outsourcing your billing, by the way.
Yes, absolutely.
So they're selling the doctors for you.
Of course. So there's one, medical economics. So just remember that. The second one that we want you to point to is what's called Fierce Healthcare Practice Management. There you can also sign up. I mean, you can see, I mean, this article right here, Doctors Groups Against Efforts to Take Back EHR Funds. I mean, folks, this is electronic health records funds. This is a way for them to help recoup their money into, guess what? This is all what we're a part of. This was just this was a screenshot of just today. You can see June the 14th, 2017. So, folks, we're trying to give you information, Patrick. I mean, before they even become a licensee.
Yeah, that's why we tell people, look, we don't know that you can make next month's training or next year's training as far as that goes, but we've been doing this for, Eric, you and I have been doing these webinars, what, 7, 8 years, 9 maybe, since you came on board? And so, folks, every Wednesday we will try to help educate you and help you with your due diligence.
Yes. Then the third one that we want you to go sign up for is healthcare finance. This has got to be one of the better ones that you're going to find out at least more information on the information between a doctor and the medical billing business. There's this lady right here. You'll see a lot of articles from this gal right here, Susan Morse. She does a lot of stuff with practice management, a lot of stuff with making sure doctors learn they should outsource their business. Gosh, Patrick, this one's just chock full of information.
Yeah. Folks, we didn't start these websites. We have nothing to do with them. We're just passing this along to you, telling you, look, if you're really serious about this industry and our business opportunities specifically, then you just need to do research and let this sell you on the idea that this is a huge industry that you can get involved in with any. Look, I asked this, Eric, yesterday at the training, or Monday morning, how many of you have any kind of background in the medical field? One person raised their hand. Right. Nobody in there had anything to do with the medical field. And yet, folks, we have people who are successful that I've interviewed. On our website, you can see all these past webinars that I've interviewed people. Many of them say, I had no background whatsoever. I learned everything I know from your 1 week of training.
Here's just some, look, talked about reimbursements right there. Here's revenue cycle management again with those folks there.
Yeah.
So, folks, what we're giving you information that you can sign up right there. It's in-depth reporting, best practice delivered right to your inbox. There's right down here you can sign up for a free subscription.
That's a great resource.
Yeah, an incredible resource. And again, this doesn't cost you anything. So this is going to help you understand this entire healthcare field. And it's going to help you with your marketing because you're going to start finding out what the pain factors are with doctors through these websites here. So we've shown you Forbes, we've shown you 3 other websites, folks. We know that healthcare in and of itself is a growing industry. And why not go visit some healthcare trade shows? Patrick, this is a great way to see what's going on really in the industry.
In just about every major city, probably at least once or twice a month, there's some sort of medical conference that's being held. And folks, in a lot of cases, you can just walk into those things and get to know some of the people there and ask some questions. It's a great way to educate yourself.
Absolutely. All right, so that's the first thing you need to be doing is checking out the industry. So again, whatever path you're going to be going down as an entrepreneur, check out that industry and get into that. Second thing, now we're going to start talking about the company. And this is, Patrick, where I'm going to relay a lot of information back to you because we need to find out about ABS here. So let's check out the company. First of all, you need to be looking at these things. Does this company have live training? Do they have a guarantee? What is their longevity? What about their technology? What about their support? What about the stability of that particular company? Patrick, we're going to go through each one of these and kind of talk about here what we have here at ABS. First of all, starting off with live training. Now, you just came through from training. This is a shot of our training class from our last one. Let's talk a little bit the difference and why it's important to have live training versus online training. We know of some other companies that's what they do.
Yeah, Erica, many years ago, we decided that the only way to really convey all the information that people need to know is in a live workshop environment like you see here. As you can see, we bring in the laptops, and you're actually doing hands-on medical billing right there. You're able to ask questions of an existing licensee who's been running her business for 8 years, and of course our staff that are there to assist. There's just nothing like it, Eric. The breakouts, the exercises that we give, that's how you learn, by doing. And we do that in this workshop. You just can't get that, folks, by just having some conference call with somebody who's reading a script. And believe me, that's what some companies do. They hire somebody that just reads a script over the phone, and whether you need that information or not, they got to read it.
That's true. And so to us, it's important. The dynamics for live training is just unsurpassed.
Well, as you saw a while ago in that little clip that I showed, you get to know these people, and they become a vital part of your support group, your networking group, your mastermind group.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It is. It's a mastermind group. Now, we know, Patrick, for some people, they just can't make it to training, and we have some options for you, but that's just limited, so just talk with your business coach. But as you can see here, folks, the way to learn this business, and really any business, is to go to their facility and be taught by them, because that really is the first level of support.
Look, one of the advantages of that, Eric, is sitting there and listening to the questions that other people come up with that you go, man, I should have thought of that. So it's a great way to learn, and believe me, there's not one boring second during the whole day. You'll be looking at your watch at the end of the day going, what? The day is over?
I just got an email from one of the new licensees that are up there that I work with, and she got the email about the webinar getting started. She goes, oh my goodness, my head's about to explode. This is awesome. So it is. It's really good. Does the company have a guarantee? Now, Patrick, I want to let you talk about this because it does have to do something with training, but let's talk about the guarantee that we have here, which is really unheard of in franchises and business opportunities.
Yeah, I don't know of any other company. In fact, when I first came up with this a few years back, Eric, you remember the whole staff there in the room said, you must be crazy, offering people's money back. Because look what it says, folks. If at the end of the training workshop, for any reason, you do not think this business is right for you, simply tell any staff member, and they will arrange for you to receive a full refund of your license fee. And really, they thought I'd gone nuts. I said, well, look, folks, if we really have what we think we have, then people will stay and go out and build their business. If we don't, then we deserve to go out of business. We deserve to give all that money back to all those people. But, Eric, that's only happened literally a handful of times in the 23 years that we've been doing this.
Right.
So it tells you that we really do have something that's very unique and very valuable to people.
Whenever you're still checking out the company, you need to talk about their longevity. And Patrick, again, kudos and hats off to you and to the company here at ABS. 23 years, celebrating 24 years, turn at the end of this year, and 25 will just be right around the corner.
Now, let me tell you how rare that is, Eric. Very rare in this industry, especially because companies like ours that are offering some sort of business opportunity, they come and go. I'm just being frank with everybody. You need to very carefully ask about their longevity, how long they've been in business, because that tells you, look, in today's world, if we weren't doing what we said we were doing, we'd be out of business, because with social media and the Better Business Bureau always there that people can go report to, you better do what you say you're going to do, or you'll just be out, and that's why a lot of them go out of business.
Right. Yeah. And we're always continually, I know that you and I are, and really the rest of the team, we're always looking for new opportunities, we're all researching, we're all developing, all of us together, and that's what's keeping us live, it's keeping us fresh. So this is great to be around, and it's just been good that I feel like I'm about to hit a milestone here as well, because March of this next year, 10 years for me being here at ABS, and that shows longevity with just the people that have been here. I guess, Patrick, the average tenure of people being here, even at American Business Systems, has been 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, That's very unusual with any company nowadays too. You
Yeah,
can see
absolutely.
folks. You can see folks that he's actually pushing for some kind of gold watch or something there. So,
I don't have a watch on, so
hey, Eric, look, to prove to you that we keep on top of stuff, folks, this book it was just published. So after 23 years, we're still coming out with new tools for helping our licensees market.
absolutely. Technology. Folks, I wish I'd have had time, Patrick. There was another Forbes article that I should have put up here. But folks, you can go check it out. It's another part about in Forbes where it talks about in the healthcare industry, it is way past time for doctors to be on what's called cloud computing. Server-based is out the window. Our entire technology platform is all web-based.
Yeah, folks, whatever you do, don't invest with a company that has what we call server-based software. That means it comes on a CD or a DVD, and it installs on your hard drive in your office. There's all kinds of red lights that should be going off in your head about holding the patient information for a doctor on your hard drive. It's just not done by companies that are aware of what should be done. And with ours, it's on 2 different servers in 2 different locations in the United States, 2 different electric grids even. So if one goes down, the other one kicks in and you never know it. It's backed up off-site nightly for you, so you don't have to worry about that. And the best thing is, Eric, you could access this from your, as you're illustrating there, any device that's connected to the internet can access your data 24/7. Cloud is, well, Amazon has the cloud now, and Google and Apple, they're all going that way. So this is the future. Don't let anybody convince you otherwise.
Matter of fact, I went ahead and while you were talking, Patrick, I think I found it right here. So I'm going to just quickly show this part of my screen here.
All right.
And boom, there it is. It should be popping up right there.
Yep.
How the cloud is transforming healthcare.
Oh, wow. That's a great article. Did that just come out?
Yeah, June the 13th. So just yesterday. So
wow.
Again, folks, you can see how up to date everything's going on here with you know, I mean, Forbes is certainly pushing what we need to be all going towards, which is again technology. It talks about software as a service. It talks about how, you know, Microsoft, like you just said, they've got Office 365. Everything's going to the cloud. So go check that out. Just
go copy that link and stick that in the chat box. They can go read that. Yeah, that's a great article. I love that. I haven't even read that one. It just came out yesterday. So it's hard to keep on top of this, folks. And that's the good thing about being a part of our system. We have a licensee private website for you when you become a licensee. And after you've completed our workshop, you'll have access to that and have access to all kinds of stuff, like articles like this that we point you to every day, something new.
Well, one of the things I wanted to show quickly about our technology is that we have everything put together where it's all going together in one full sweep here, in one, well, not suite of services. You got what's called the patient portal. This is driving everything in the healthcare industry. How important it is for patients to get a hold of their medical records, and our system has that. And it goes from there to the doctor to the billing platform, and then we get to go directly to the insurance companies. Folks, there is no other billing platform out there in the United States that has all of this in one full suite of services. That's why we are always ahead of the technology, especially in the field that we're in.
And Eric, they can see that for themselves, right, by getting back with the person who sent them the email to this webinar, their business coach we call them, and just ask them to see a demo. We'll show it to you live, one-on-one, just like we're doing this webinar today using GoToMeeting.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to talk about that a little bit today as well. Does the company have lifetime support? Patrick, we have unlimited lifetime support here.
Eric, could you go back to that previous slide? I just want to touch on that just for a second, because it does show all of the ancillary products and services that our licensees can offer. Now, folks, you don't have to offer any of them. It's your business, so you can do with it what you want. But we have spent a lot of money developing products and services that you can use to not only open the doors for you to get in to talk to a doctor, but once you have them as a client, adding these services just adds that much more value to you as a business. So it makes you very unique in the marketplace to have them. You can find out more about that, of course, all of those on our website or in a previous webinar that we've covered those.
Absolutely. We've got so much on webinars, it's unbelievable. All right, unlimited lifetime support. Again, does the company that you're going to be working with, are they going to charge you support after a year or 2 years? Patrick, we don't, because we are, what I like to say, we want to be fiduciarily responsible for our licensees, and the only way to do that is to give them lifetime support.
Can you say that word again? Fiduciarily
responsible.
Okay. And really, folks, people ask us, how can we do this? Well, it's because the way we've modeled our company, folks, is that we do make a few pennies on all of the transactions that go through our system. So that just means that you're not paying anything to us directly. We get that from our technology partners as a rebate, and it allows us to give you support forever. At one time, we were charging for it, and I said, folks, guys, this is our staff. I said, why would we do that when we make money on what they do? Let's support them for no cost and just make them that much more successful.
Absolutely. Yeah. Another thing about checking out the company, we've already mentioned it also, about the Better Business Bureau. Check us out there at the Better Business Bureau. I mean, it doesn't really get any better than this. I actually got a screenshot of it right here. You can see that we have been in, we got an A+ rating, Patrick.
Yeah, now since you've shown that, Eric, I have to address that little statement right there. You want to circle that? This business is not BBB accredited. Let me tell you all that means, folks. It means that we have not joined and paid a big annual fee to the Better Business Bureau. We don't have to. As long as you have an A+ rating, that's the highest they give anyway. There's no reason to do that. And I just don't believe in that. It sounds like almost that you're paying to make sure that you get a good rating. So we don't do that, but that's all that accredited means.
Absolutely. Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Now, folks, as you can see the time, we're almost getting close to the end of this hour, but we're only on number 3, and we're going to try to get through 3, 4, 5, and 6 within the next 15 minutes.
And we're still open to any questions. I've been monitoring the question box. There's not one question in there. So
hopefully we've been really laying a great foundation. Check the industry, check out the company. Then let's talk about funding. There's only 2 types of funding that you can get, unsecured and secured loans. Folks, we know that if you try to go to a bank and try to get an unsecured loan for a business opportunity, you're wasting your time. If you're going to do anything, you need to go through a secured loan if you're going to try to do that. And the only way to do a secured loan is that you probably have pretty good credit. So be careful that if you go to the bank, I can say this, Patrick, you know this, my son's a vice president of one of the banks here in Fort Worth.
Right.
If someone comes to him and says, I want a business loan, he says, get in this line and fill out this stack of paper. However, if one walks in and says, I want to get like a unsecured type loan for whatever else I want to be able to do, it's called like a line of credit. You can still get those at the bank. Sure. You go through this short line and fill out these 2 pieces of paper.
Yeah. Yeah, so, a lot of people use money for home improvements and all kinds of things that, you might borrow that money and then decide that you wanted to start a business. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing illegal with that. It's just that you may have a better use for that money than adding on a new, gym or whatever.
Right.
And here's a great way, Eric. Credit cards. We have people all the time funding this business, and in fact there's no shame in that, because I think like 73% of all businesses, small businesses, are funded by the owner's own credit and their own credit card, and these are ready to go. You might have $3,000 on one card and $5,000 on another and $10,000 on another. You just utilize what you can.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is similar to the line of credit that you'd get at the bank. So a lot of people are going to kind of freak out because, I don't want to put anything on a credit card. Folks, it's the same thing that you're doing with a line of credit at a bank.
Yeah.
It's just a a revolving credit there at the bank, you can do the same thing here with that. Patrick mentioned home equity loans. You can do a home equity loan and pull money out of your home. If you got investments in your home, you got enough equity, you can pull that money out too as well.
Sure.
Private seed money, people that you know that would like to invest in you. Maybe it's your parents, a relative. It may just be what you would think of an angel investor, someone that doesn't really want to do the business. They just want to invest their money into you, see some growth of their money, and help you out in that business as well.
Yeah, they're the financial partner, and you're the partner that's going to put in the sweat equity. There's nothing wrong with that. Just think of Uncle Joe. He might be the guy that you go to that says, yeah, I'll fund this if you pay me so much interest or whatever. Nothing wrong with that either.
Then we do have a company that works with us. It's a third-party investment firm called Guidant Financials. They will help you. We have, as you can see right here, there's a pre-qualification website just for our people that we send to them. And it's just a quick little 5-minute funding thing that it takes you right through it. Go to them. They'll either help you with if you've got money in your retirement. They may even help you with some unsecured funding as well. So they'll help at least coach you through that. A lot of people, I'll kind of end with this, Patrick. A lot of people still ask us here, do we do funding and financing? And we just need to say, no, this is why we have these other places to be able to send you to, and it helps us keep us solvent as we're helping our licensees get off the ground as well.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Corey typed in here that's on here today, says, see you in December. So
there you go.
Folks, there's nothing wrong with that. If you can't put your money together, or you have other things going on in your life, you can't take a week off until December, that's fine. We're going to continue doing these trainings throughout the year. I think there's only 3 more, Eric, maybe 4.
So. I think so. There's July, September,
November,
October, December. I think you're right. I think you're 3 or 4.
Yeah.
All right. People always ask, well, what about grants, or what about small business, the SBA? We're going to tell you right now, forget it. They will send you on a paper trail trace that will leave you hanging. So these are just some of the lessons that we've learned. And Patrick, I think some of the best things that we can always share are some of the things that we just can't do. And obviously, we want to be upfront about that as well.
Yeah, that's kind of a waste of time there, folks. Actually, our investment, Eric, at $26,990 is way too little money. SBA won't talk to you unless it's $50,000 or more. Hey, right. Eric, we have a doctor on here today, Sam Harris. He's a chiropractor, and he says, will this count as a conflict of interest while billing? No, we have doctors who bill for other doctors. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
He says, what type of doctors are part of your program? Actually, Sam, anybody who files on, the standard 1500 form, as a doctor, he would know what that is. The CMS 1500 form, you can bill for them. So that's any kind of specialty out there. There's dozens and dozens. Yeah.
Yeah, and then if part of your question was, are there the doctors that are associated with American Business Systems? We do have both MDs and doctors of chiropractor as well. All right, number 4, build a plan. Now, this is an interesting part of what we want to talk about, just real quickly, is we have a medical billing business special report. Now, this is one of the things that we are going to tell you. You can get this for free. Patrick, you want to tell them how to get it?
Yes, get back with the person who sent you the email to this webinar, your business coach, and just say, I'd like that special report. Just use those 2 words, and they'll know what you mean, and they can send this to you as a PDF. Yeah.
There you go.
By the way, Sam asked another question here that I don't want him to think that we ignored that part of it, but he says, what is the method that we have to use to bring on doctors on board? Sam, that's another webinar that we've done on exactly how we help you find doctors. And why don't you get back with your coach and just tell them, I'd like the link to that particular webinar. We go into detail about that. We teach about a dozen different ways as to how to market to other doctors, and that's a big portion of our live training workshop here.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, Nigel, you asked the same question, how do I obtain customers from sites already outsourcing medical billing services? that's the same webinar that you need to be looking at as well. Also, another way to build a plan is go get these books. You can get any of these books on Amazon. You can order these off of Amazon. Folks, if there's a book that out there that if you're trying to think about, is this, we've already given you websites to go look at. Now we're going to tell you how to get involved in this and kind of just put your toe into the water. Go order the New Thriving Medical Practice.
Yeah, hey, Eric, a little correction here from John. John, I appreciate you saying this because I didn't realize that. Maybe they changed the rules, but he says the minimum amount for the SBA loan is $25,000, not $50,000. He says, and they're not too difficult to get as I have gotten one myself.
Well, great.
Yeah, and it just depends on what your background is, and maybe you have some experience in business. Sometimes they want a business plan, and they really, it's a lot of paperwork, but yeah, it's worth trying. Thank you, John, for saying that. Yeah.
There you go. Well, I appreciate you letting us know about that, John. Thank you so much. Yeah. The next thing that we want you to do, number 5, there's supposed to have been another little slide here, kind of showing the flow there. But number 5 is take a test drive. What we're wanting you to do is look in. The best way to do this, we kind of call this kicking the tires, taking a test drive. You're not going to go buy a car, usually just online. You're going to go down there. You're going to go look at it, kick the tires, look under the hood, take it for a test drive. This is what we're doing. And what we're telling you is that we will do a live demonstration of the software for you. Again, get with your business coach. We'll get that set up too as well.
Yeah, and so you're on your computer, we're on our computer as illustrated here. We're using GoToMeeting to do that, and you can see exactly what we're doing live as we are connected to the system through the cloud.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of screenshots here just to kind of give you some examples of what you're going to learn, of what we're going to show you. So again, if this is a business opportunity that you're really looking to get into, or any type of business that you're looking to get into, make sure that they kind of give you some type of way to see what you're getting into. And that's what we're giving you here to kind of take that test drive here. All right, we're just about to wrap up. We told you we would kind of get through all these 6 here as quickly as possible. It's going to leave us a little bit of time maybe to go back through for some last-minute questions here. But let's talk about references and testimonials. Now, before I say anything about references and testimonials, I already know what people are thinking, Patrick. You're only going to give me the people that are successful.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's because, here's the fact, folks. You want to talk to people in business, in any business, that have actually accomplished what you want to accomplish in that business. If you want to be successful, we're going to only let you talk to the people who are very successful. That doesn't mean that there's not people out there who maybe have come through our training and maybe they're still struggling to get a client. That doesn't mean that they've given up. It just means that they are not, at the same point that you might be. Everybody's different, depending on whether they're full-time or part-time. Some licensees get their first client after, the first couple of weeks. Others, it takes 60, 90 days, maybe more. Right. But that's all up to you. And so the references and testimonials that we're giving you, at least they're real. Now, Eric, I'm going to say this because I don't think some people know this, but there are companies out there who have people who will take phone calls that are not really in the business. Folks, right. Every one of ours are legitimate people who've been through our training. They can tell you exactly what that's all about. And some of them, Eric, that have offices will let you come and visit them in their office to see that they are real. Absolutely. I think after talking to 2 or 3 of them, you'll realize that these people really are in this business. But I'm just warning you again, since you're doing your due diligence for other companies as well, be sure and make sure you know that those people really are, sincerely in the business.
And what you'll find out is the references that you will talk to, every one of them has failed in some way. Yeah. So we're giving you people who have actually failed. So it's okay to talk to them and ask them about how they failed in getting this business going. So we do want to be upfront with you. These are the people that you can talk to. Folks, these are people from coast to coast, all different backgrounds. I mean, these people come from Coca-Cola. These people come from construction yards. These people come from every background that you can imagine, every nationality, some who that were actually immigrants from another country that came into this country and actually got this business going. It's incredible for the diversity that we have here in our references here.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to point out that Nigel asked a question, and I deleted it before I realized it. Eric, you kind of addressed it because he was asking about customers, but he also said something about the focus is on sites that are performing billing themselves. Nigel, I'm not clear on that at all. If you could just type in that a little bit clearer, that'd be great. And Sam is asking, once we get the certificate, do we need to take any CE, continuing education courses? No, Sam, you can start this business right the day after you finish our training. We give you a certification through the Medical Revenue Management Association of America that certifies you as a medical revenue manager. Yeah.
But Patrick, go ahead and talk to the, once you become a licensee, the webinars that you're on right now on Wednesdays, we actually have continual education on live webinars that we do on Fridays for our licensees.
That's right. On Fridays, we do ongoing training for our licensees. Again, all included in the licensing cost, no additional cost for that whatsoever. And Eric, we probably did, I don't know, 40 or more of those this past year.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so not only can you talk to those people, you can go listen to their interviews. Patrick, you do a lot of interviews. We got some that are coming up here soon, but here's one that was done with Tim Warren. Here's another one that with Paul, I believe that's his name, and then actually talking to some of the references. Here's one, Renee's Hermes, and again, he's the one that was actually an immigrant from, I can't remember where he was from, but he's in Chicago, has built this business, been around since 2011.
Yeah, knew nobody in Chicago when he moved there. Came through our training, went out and built a huge business now, folks. And he's a guy that actually has an office with people working there in the office. So if you talk to him, you know, if you're somewhere close, you could go visit him.
Absolutely. And then lastly, come by and visit us. There's nothing better than a personal visit here at American Business Systems. Come by our office. Patrick will be the one that is actually going to be able to sit and visit with you. Might be your business coach along with Patrick. We'd love to have you come do that. Again, talk to people, come visit us. Patrick, we're wide open. Our books are wide open.
Yeah, you'll be able to sit in that ridiculously oversized conference room that we have that seats like 40 people, it looks like. No, here's the point, guys. We do want to meet you face-to-face. If you want to take the time to fly in here, we'll pick you up at the airport, we'll take you back. You just let us know what you want. And while you're here, you can ask all the questions you want of all the staff. So it's a good thing to do, yeah.
So as we wrap up here, folks, we've gone through 6 business decision-making part of what you need to be doing as you're looking to see if this is the right move for you.